It is Friday the 20th of October. I'm outside of the Loyola campus of the Concordia University and just getting ready for the candidates debate of city councilors. People going in, or at least two of them, the ones with the bags, are organizers. And as I showed up, one of them basically said, I have to wait outside, which is fine. I was expecting that. They're still getting ready. But she also basically asked me not to interfere. Well, I didn't interfere in the last one, really. I asked a straightforward general question for all of the candidates. But what happened is that one of the candidates, Projet Montréal candidate for mayor of NDG, Sue Montgomery, well, NDG Côte-des-Neiges, basically she essentially did not answer the question at all. She did not answer even one aspect of the question, and then she launched into a personal attack on me, accusing me of many years of harassment, which is ridiculous. I mean, while I have certainly submitted her to some legitimate public criticism, but I have not harassed her in the sense of making all kinds of phone calls or all kinds of emails to her or anything like that. I have never directly done anything like that. I haven't hung outside of her home or anything. I haven't made a whole bunch of harassing statements or anything like that. I could actually legitimately accuse Sue Montgomery of a certain amount of harassment in the form of legal bullying that she directly participated in, and then she's also complicit in other legal bullying that she may not have had a hand in, but that she was aware of and never spoke out against. So yes, Sue Montgomery made a bit of a scene when I asked a general question to all of the candidates, but I did not do anything myself other than scoff once or twice when she described herself as a human rights defender and seeker of the truth, and that I literally was not able to prevent myself from sort of scoffing a little bit, laughing basically, because it's, from my perspective, she's a huge hypocrite. So anyway, we're just going to wait out here, and I do intend to protest outside before going in. Right now there's hardly anyone here in the parking lot, so I think I'll just wait a bit. But I have some picket signs to display, and I will display them. I will initially display them here, close to the entrance, and hopefully that will be okay. But it's possible that I'll be asked to not protest, on the campus itself. Personally, I think I have every right to protest on the campus. I believe it's like a public place, and I ought to be able to protest. There's been various kinds of vigils held, certainly at McGill University and so on. So I don't see why I should be asked, but it's a possibility. And if I'm asked to not protest, on the property here, which I consider to be public property, I will, politely argue about that. But if they're insistent, I'll say, okay, fine, I'll go out on the sidewalk for the time being, and that's what I'll do. I won't make a huge issue of it, because I do want to be able to go in and ask a question. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
It is a main building.
That's the main building, yes.
Main building.
Main, yeah.
Main building, yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's for the candidates debate?
I looking for this address.
7141 Sherbrooke West, Campus Loyola West. I think this is it. Yeah, it's Jesuit Hall and Conference Center. Okay, hang on a sec. Can I just sorry. Hall.
The conference in the hall. I don't.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see what this is. What's the conference though? What kind of conference? Because there's a candidates debate. Is it the, Conseil Communautaire Yeah. So just go inside the main entrance here.
This is
You
it?
should find someone. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. Yeah.
My friend said,
Yeah. I saw two go in already.
Yeah. You sure this is my
It may not be in that, but they went in that way. So you can, if you go in, they'll tell you where it is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Yeah. So that was someone who's asked to be a volunteer to help with the event, and she was asking me if she was at the right place, and but I couldn't tell right away what. Yeah.
Oscar Peterson Pavillon.
What?
Oscar Peterson.
Yeah. He's a good pianist.
Is he here?
I think he's dead. Oh, ok, the building. L'édifice, Oscar Peterson.
Yeah.
Bonne question. Honnêtement, je ne sais pas, mais je sais qu'il y a un cancer dans l'église.
Ah, l'église.
Alors, possiblement, c'est dans l'église. Ok? J'ai pensé que vous cherchez Oscar Peterson. Bonjour, monsieur. So I got this guy, I think a taxi driver, coming up and talking about Oscar Peterson. I thought he was like looking for the actual guy, and I don't think he's with us anymore. But then apparently, I guess there's an Oscar Peterson Hall here, somewhere on the Loyola campus. I think I have heard about that in the past, but I don't know exactly where it is. And but I did notice there seemed to be arranging to have a concert in the church. So I assume it might be there. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just set up here outside for the time being. Since there's hardly anyone in the parking lot, I'll put up some signs here, on what is almost certainly city property or close to it, and we'll make those signs visible. And then what I may do is, as more people show up, I will go on into the driveway. But for now, I think I'm on very solid ground in terms of being able to display some picket signs here without too much trouble. And that's what we will do. So anyhow, let's just do that. Oops, a daisy, stuck on my earphones. Fell out of my cell phone. So just properly rearranging the picket signs here so that they're reading properly. Okay. So, got a little sign over there on the left, and two bigger ones and brighter ones over here on the right. Unitarian Universalist misuse blasphemy law to cover up and deny rape. Entirely truthful statement. But what's more pertinent to the municipal elections here in Montreal is the fact that helpless children have been raped by Unitarian Universalist ministers and Sunday school teachers. But the Gazette's retired justice reporter, Sue Montgomery, who is now running to be mayor of NDG, never reported the fact that her religious community, the Unitarian Universalist religious community, hired Stikeman Elliott barristers and solicitors defamation and litigation lawyer, Maitre Marc-Andre Coulombe, to falsely accuse me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel, a clergy sex abuse cover-up legal bullying that sought to conceal and possibly even outright deny such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers. So my beef is that, someone like Sue Montgomery, who turns a blind eye to the cover-up of clergy abuse, even, the worst forms of clergy abuse, specifically pedophilia and rape, within her religious community, and never speaks out against it, and on top of that, involves herself in efforts to shut down my protest outside the Unitarian Church of Montreal, is not, in my opinion, suited to be running for public office to any position in Canada, let alone as the mayor of Côte-des-Neiges, Notre-Dame-de-Grâce borough in Montreal. So, that's my issue. Sue Montgomery is not showing up here tonight, but various other candidates for city councillor will be showing up, and I expect a certain number of voters will be showing up. And then there's a pretty good traffic here in terms of cars going by, so it's a pretty good place to protest against Sue Montgomery's complicity in Unitarian Universalist clergy views cover-up and denial and so on. As it happens, one of the city councillors who is in the debate tonight, one Jeremy Searle, who's an independent, he's not with any party, most likely because no party will actually have him, because he's quite the character, shall we say. He will be here tonight, and you know, I don't have any picket signs specifically referencing him at this point in time. I was busy with other matters. I'm not a total fanatic about doing this stuff. Nonetheless, you know, Jeremy Searle, I may find ways of putting him on the spot, but what he did in any case was, you know, basically like 17 years ago, so not recent, which doesn't excuse it in any way, but what I'm getting at is not recent behavior, and he's done a whole pile of other stuff. You know, I put it this way, I don't think he's likely to win his seat again, you know, so I'm not overly concerned about, you know, making him look bad before the election. I think he looks bad enough already from many different angles. So it could possibly backfire if I come on too hard about Jeremy Searle. But what I will do is I'll put him on the spot in a general question that I intend to ask the city councillors about, you know, respect for civil rights and freedoms, you know, respecting the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms and so on. So anyhow, we got some people here, some of them looking at the picket signs. So yeah, definitely reading them. So anyhow, we shall circulate here. So yeah, as I said, you know, here where I am, there really should be very little question about my ability to protest, you know. There's still like nobody in the parking lot area, and we shall just stay out here for a bit. I'm sort of hoping that, you know, people showing up, but I got a feeling people won't really show up until, let's say, 6:45 or so. This thing officially starts at 7, but people tend not to show up early. So anyhow, just keep the signs. The wind is causing the one on the left there to get blown around a little bit. The other two are okay. I guess it's, you know, possibly wind from passing cars causing the picket signs to, or that one anyway, to flip around a bit, because there's not really much of a breeze. Anyhow, we'll just do our little protest out here. If nothing else, we got passing cars and buses and so on, seeing the picket signs. And once it gets to the point where there's more people showing up, I'll try to you know, move my protest into the parking lot area closer to the entrance, and see how that works out. So anyhow, this is actually, I used to go to university here. I went for 1 year to the Loyola campus of Concordia University. I was studying history, so that's a little ironic. But for whatever reason, it just wasn't, you know, how can I put it? I wasn't enjoying it. Basically, I had some pretty dogmatic teachers, professors, who sort of had their political stance kind of thing, and you were expected to follow it. You know, if you didn't regurgitate what they wanted you to regurgitate back to them, you might not do so well. So So I was just starting off as an amateur photographer at that point, and actually getting some really good results immediately. And so I actually skipped a certain number of classes to take photos, and in the end, after 1 year, okay, so our people are now starting to walk across the driveway here. So I think I'll actually now, because it must be close to 6:30 or even later than 6:30 now. So people will start showing up and may not see my protest out here. Just gonna check the time. And let's see, where the heck did I put my, okay, there we go. So I'll get the phone out. Yeah, 6:30 on the nose. So yeah, time to move back into the parking lot area so that people who come in from other ways can see my picket signs. And that's what we're gonna do now. Go back inside there. Just gather everything up here. So getting back to Jeremy Searle, I mean, it was 17 years ago. It was December of 2000. I was protesting outside the Unitarian Church of Montreal, engaging in, pretty standard, peaceful public protest, very similar to what I'm doing right now, when a police car drove up and a single police officer got out of it. There was only one officer, there weren't two, just one guy, and basically came and said he was here to arrest me. And there wasn't any sort of ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, he had basically been ordered to come and arrest me. It wasn't, something that one could talk about and negotiate, So he arrested me, and when I asked him, well, what for? What's this arrest for?